Hey guys, I want to talk about, first of all, before I start, let me tell you guys, I got, my YouTube channel set up. It's been set up for about a month. I got a few subscribers and everything. And so you can go to Rosemary Valentine and subscribe to my YouTube channel if that's what you want to do. And you don't have to subscribe. You can go just check out my videos if that's what you want to do. I'm going to be sharing my story from my childhood all the way up until this point. And I'll be sharing it pretty soon. So you'll know some things about me and what I've been through that I won't share on Facebook. But anyway, that's saying, okay, what goes on in this house stays in this house. I got a problem with that. I really do. See, narcissists, like narcissistic parents, it can be a roommate, whatever. They love to say, what goes on in this house stays in this house, Because, see, narcissists, they've got a public image and they got some hell on high wheels going on behind closed doors. See, they got two faces. And see, they don't want nobody to know what's really going on behind closed doors. That's the reason why they'll teach you and teach their children and roommates and whatever. What goes on in this house, it stays in this house. Because they don't want nobody to know what's going on and how they mistreating you and how they mistreating their children. They don't want nobody to know. Now, I'm not talking about people that they're not narcissists, and they may say what goes on in this house stays in this house, and there's no toxicity, there's no neglect, there's no abuse going on. See, a lot of times those type of people, they just jump on the bandwagon with a saying. Everybody's saying it, and so they're gonna say it too. But if you think about it, when somebody says what goes on in this house stays in this house, well, what's going on in that house that have to stay in that house? I mean, just think about it for a minute. I'm not asking anybody to agree. Just think about it for a minute. What is going on in that house that they want to stay in that house? Now look at it like this. Okay, you got so there's dishes in the sink. Who cares about that? All of us got dishes in our sink from time to time. What goes on in this house stays in this house. That don't apply to that. What's somebody gonna do? To go run out and tell somebody that you didn't wash your dishes today, or you didn't wash them for a couple of days? Or what is it? Okay, so what? You got laundry piled up in your on your bedroom floor. And somebody, who cares about that? Your house is clean for the most part. You gonna get to your laundry when you get to it. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about those narcissists and those toxic people and those psychopaths and sociopaths that use that saying, what goes on in this house stays in this house. See, those are the ones that behind closed doors, see, they molesting their children. Yeah, I said it. They molesting their children. Or see, they'll make sure that when their kids going to school, they got clean clothes, but they sleeping in dirty pajamas every night. And they don't want that child to say what's really going on behind closed doors. See, those narcissists, they like that public image. That's the reason why, okay, they're going to make sure that their kids is clean and, and all that kind of stuff. And they got dirty pajamas that they've been sleeping in for 2 weeks, and their mama won't wash their clothes, and, and all kind of stuff is going on. And that mom or that dad, beating them to no end. They getting real slick too. And, whipping their children and stuff and not leaving no scars. See, you got to pay attention to kids who got a sadness in their eyes. I've been there. They got a sadness in their eyes. See, they trying to tell you something, but they don't know how to say it. or they too scared to say it because they was taught what goes on in this house, it stays in this house. My thing is with these kinds of people, what are you hiding? I'm not talking about you guys that just jumped on the bandwagon with it saying what goes on in this house stays in this house. I've been there, I've done that. I said it. I said it. Only because everybody else is saying it. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about them. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those ones that they pretending like they feeding their kids and they doing this. And then, you know, when they go behind closed doors, they don't even ask their kids or their roommates or their lovers or their partners, you know, how was your day today? Because they're not emotionally available because they don't care. You know, they'll pack. See, some of these parents, they'll pack their kids a big lunch or stuff to make sure that when they go out in public and they go to school, that it looks like they being well fed. And they might look like they being well fed. But behind closed doors, oh, you know, a lot of times these parents, they don't want to cook their kids no dinner, no healthy dinner. They, you know, just put some Roman noodles on there and that's it. And they don't care about the kids' day and they don't care about nothing else. Yeah, I said it. And then they tell their kids. And let me talk about not just kids, but let me talk about you might have a romantic partner, a roommate that you living with. Beating the hell out of you. Ain't leaving no scars, beating the hell out of you. And don't tell nobody but God. And you're not. Because you don't know how to get out of that situation and you ain't got nowhere to go. And you don't want another beating. You don't want to be physically abused no more or emotionally abused no more. I ain't going to talk to you. Giving you that silent treatment as a punishment because they think that you might have went out and said something to somebody because you trying to get some help because you scared in your own house. What goes on in this house stays in this house. No. Some of this stuff needs to be exposed. Yeah, I said it. It needs to be exposed. And some of these kids need to tell these people at school, the counselors or whoever they have to report to what's really going on behind closed doors. And I know y'all got to be careful about all that because when them social services and, you know, when they all get involved in stuff, they might come and take your kids and then you don't know what kind of hellish situation they're going to end up in. I don't like that saying, y'all. What goes on in this house stays in this house. That's another way of saying I'm hell on high wheels behind closed doors and I'm going to sweep it under the rug by telling you what goes on in this house stays in this house. No, I'm not doing that. And I'm not really sure how to fix it, especially when it comes to kids. And for the adults that are in romantic relationships, they can't try to get out of it. You know, there's shelters that you can go to, and if it really gets deep, you can get your name changed and all that. I don't know, y'all. I'm just saying, we just got to stop jumping on the bandwagon when it comes to these terms and these sentences. Stop jumping on the bandwagon talking about what goes on in this house stays in this house. If you know you good people and you know you doing right by your kids, why are you saying what goes on in this house stays in this house? You ain't doing nothing wrong. And your kids know it. And your partner know it. And your husband or your wife know it. Stop jumping on the bandwagon with these terms, y'all. Because a narcissist uses those terms for a very deliberate reason. Because they trying to hide abuse. Yeah, I said it.